that's one little piece of business by way of announcement. We have a couple other things just to, we're hopefully Geronimo's going to get here.
Okay.
Because while Tierra's here, I'm going to tell you this. Geronimo's having a little car trouble, but Geronimo finally got his driver's license. So we give $50 when a guy gets his permit, or $50 when he gets his driver's license, because it's so critical.
Good deal.
Yeah. Those failed traffic stops for us become brutal.
Yeah.
And even worse. And so it's so important for our guys to be legal, to drive legal. You get it? That we're willing to give incentivized.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And so as a matter of fact, of funding, kind of one of our participants got a funding and connected us up, and we kind of laid out the dynamics of how critical the driver's license is for safety, DWV, all that, and then getting to work.
Right.
People who employers, they want you to be able to get there. And so the funder gave $5,000. So it's not in-house yet. We've been doing it anyway. But the funder came on board, so every pop guy who has that as an issue, unpaid tickets, those kinds of things, then we just knocking it out, because otherwise that stuff escalates and turns into something. So I just want to say to you that Geronimo, after I think 3 times, five times Tierra here, Tierra is a pop guy and also staff, but he ended up taking this brother 5 times. Because it's different than when we was doing it. Now, they only take the first like 10 people. The first 10 people. Hey, sir, what's happening? How you doing? Hey, good.
How you doing, sir?
They only take the first 10 people, and then after that, if you don't have an appointment, you can't get seen. So,
schedule an appointment. The soonest appointment they can schedule was August.
Right.
And this was in the summer. Yeah.
No, it's the whole year long, man.
It's funny you say that, Pops, because my daughter took hers in October. She had some paperwork, and she had something, and there was a discrepancy, technical with paperwork or whatever. So the next one she could get was March.
Of 20.
Of this year.
Oh, okay.
She didn't pass.
She did.
So the next one that she's got from that day until this Friday is the first opening they have. Wow. So I'm taking her Friday morning to take her driver's test.
Good.
And also, she just got a job today at Walmart. She's doing good.
Don't that feel good?
Absolutely.
Man, take your daughter out there and get them driver's license.
I'm Friday morning. I'm
Then
taking
if the examiner, this is what you got to look at the examiner like this. Look, this is how you look at her. This is my back. Not really, but.
Class of 20 or something?
No, you don't do that.
No.
Just got to get that look. Just got to get that look. Did you want something to eat, sir?
Oh, I already grabbed some.
You already grabbed some wings. Boy, you're fast. You want something?
In a minute.
Okay.
The display last week in my belly, I'm kind of playing war on this body.
Oh, well, there you go. We're going to wish you a victory, baby. So anyway, we're so excited about Geronimo, who just was
back here for guys who sit back here.
Tierra, I'm so proud of you, man. I want to say
Keep
that
this
for
back
some
here.
witnesses. Okay. Will, excuse me. I'm so proud of Tierra for taking him. Give me some.
All right, Tierra.
All right. He ended up having the women. He finally get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. And to get there at 4:30.
Man, we were getting there at like 4 o'clock in the morning. There'd be like 21 cars out there.
Oh, wow.
And like we were just looking. We'd be all pumped up like, yeah, we're gonna get it today, and we're gonna be first, and we'll pull up, and it'd be like, I took that picture. It was a long, like
Where at?
It's up.
At the
the one with
Art
Plymouth?
Hill.
All
Art
of them
Hill.
are like that.
We went
It's,
to all of them.
Oh,
Sat
wow.
in lines and waited hours just for them to say,
It's-
sorry, you don't have an appointment.
Oh,
We're
wow.
not taking no more.
Oh, wow.
But
I just don't, you know, I mean, I just don't know how I would handle that. But I love what you did, man, that you stuck with that guy, and you took him out of harm's way, man. Because here's the reality about us men, and maybe y'all too, but men, you know, we gonna drive. Now, if the car's over there, and you got some keys to it, dear God.
Gotta have your horse.
See what I mean? And so we just have to make sure that we're really working on this thing.
That's right.
And being
Right.
true to the game, as we would say, you know. And that's another thing, Tia, I'm so proud of you, man. Thank you for helping him. Then he drove himself out, I think it was today, to the produce place where he wanted to get it. He was a truck driver in his former life. And so now they hired him out there as a truck driver. You trucking? And he ended up getting a job.
Where?
All right.
At something produce.
I got him a job over at
Oh, Wayne.
Co-op Farm.
All right, all right,
Anyway, so you know, that's how Wayne, that's Wayne, you know, we gotta give him his property.
You know,
And so-
he always
Wayne, we
forgot.
got you,
Don't make a
man.
big.
Wayne, you the man.
I'll get it later.
You the man, Wayne.
And then, so anyway, he got his job, then came from the job and had car trouble. So, you know, that's how it go, you know what I mean, but he good.
But he is a mechanic.
I am too.
And so, since Matthew will keep jumping in here, let's introduce him. This is his first group. I think it's only been out 2 days.
Not even a week. Yep.
Go ahead.
All right, yeah.
My name is Matthew Dobbs. I've been in Austin, in Minnesota since '97, and I just got out last Monday from 32 months of incarceration.
Wow, well, welcome home, give us some love.
Where are you at, sir?
Lionel Lakes.
Oh, okay, so, yeah, that's here.
Yeah, done your freshman. And so, just, now who's your PO, what's?
Deborah Schmidt out of Austin, Minnesota,
Okay.
because that's where my historical tires are from. Hennepin County refused to supervise me, because I don't have any historical tie in Hennepin County.
Right.
But I'm living in Ramsey County in St. Paul. I got a house out in Magnolia. That whole crossing home thing worked out for me real well.
Right.
And I got a really good roommate. And I was just looking at this car, 97 Benz S500. Let me pick that up pretty quick.
Right, you're going Mercedes? Yeah. Give the man a hand, you know, you got good taste.
I know it, bro.
Yeah, you gonna pull it off.
I'm gonna show up real nice next week.
You gonna have to ride and everything.
I ain't gonna get that bad just yet.
Okay.
Hey, Calvin.
So, Matthew, are you working now or
I
no?
am not working yet.
And do you wanna work?
I do definitely want to work. I'm gonna work. I got a Class A CDL, and I intend to work as soon as possible.
Wow. So, Matthew, this is Tierre,
Hey, Sierra, nice to meet you.
and can you talk with Matthew and get us, you're filling that out now. Tierre will get you offline, and then he already got a few things popping, so you might be right on time. You know what I mean? But Matthew, it's good, so it's good to see you. And I'm glad that Ramsey was, you know, accommodating and, you know.
They're not even supervising me and all that. It's funny how that works. Like, I don't even know what to say about it.
No, let me tell you what it is.
Okay.
You're in a much better position because, but at the same time, much better position as far as supervision.
Right.
By being in Ramsey. And see, in Austin, the population is smaller, and, you know, things stick out more, they put more emphasis on it. But now here in Ramsey, you know, this and that, you're gonna be able to move around and do your thing, but you're gonna have to respect it because these guys ain't playing.
Right.
You know, ain't no joke.
It ain't no joke.
Right. But man, we're certainly glad to have you sitting at the table and having some chicken with us.
Yeah,
Matter of fact, if you're here next Tuesday, we'll have a cake for you. We usually have ice cream and cake for you guys, but we didn't know you was coming. I wasn't sure.
I just actually ran into Marvin over at Emerge. He was cleaning out his office, and I helped him move his safe out of his office.
Today?
Yeah, today.
Wow.
It was fate, man, because I was over there meeting with Kermua
Uh-huh.
and Julia Sisson
At
at
Second
Emerge,
Chance.
at Second Chance.
They got some truck drivers.
Julia brought me over there. I met her over there. Well, Kurt asked me to work for him on Monday last week when I got out because he gave me an 8:30 appointment, and I didn't get out of the prison until 8:15 in the morning.
Right.
So I made it there about 8:45. I hurried up and got down there.
As a matter of fact, Marvin told me this, so I knew you were out.
Yeah.
And so, did Marvin help you arrange that housing, please?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, he helped me out with it.
We talked about it a little bit.
Yep.
But you also want to mess with Tierra because Tierra got a few little needs on the
All right.
truck driving stuff as well.
Real good.
And so we're glad to have you. And then here's what we're gonna do real quick since we're so small. I wanna talk about Will. You know, Will has been out a couple of weeks. He had a death in the family. And Will, I don't know if you want to say anything about that or what. I know the guys got together and got a little card.
Yeah.
They gave it to you and you know, this and that. If there's anything you want to say,
Well, you know, just I really appreciate the card, man. You know, thank you. And, you know, the love offering, you know, I know where it comes from. You know, we know it's not necessary, but we know where it comes from. You know what I'm saying? And I really appreciate that. Akithia, she really appreciated it too. And she's going to be here soon. Because we won't be able to stay the whole night tonight, but we will next week.
okay.
Tonight we won't.
Well, and just tell them where you're going.
Oh, we're going to the Saints game, and you know the team and baseball team in St. Paul. You know.
Give them a hand for that, man.
Yeah.
Get some recreation.
Yeah, I've never been there, so I'm, you know, but I give a report on it next week.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? But so we're doing that. The funeral went, you know, it went as well as could be expected. You know, it went well. We got everybody in town. We didn't have any hiccups. I was going back and forth to the airport, picking up people and just, you know, doing what we had to do to put it together. We didn't even have a pastor, so I had to call Rev McAfee and you know, and of course he did it. You know, he always step up. You know what I mean? Folks say what they will, but at the end of the day, it's those step up and those who don't. And he always steps up. So, you know, he was that. So that went well. Yeah, it just, you know, it went well, man. And we're here.
So, well, you know, we missed you. Everybody was thinking about you. And, you know, just so you know, I mean, I didn't start the card. Somebody else, you know, the guy just took it upon himself to, you know, whatever, you know, and I loved it. You know, because, you know, you are loved here, man. We love
Most
you.
definitely.
And, you know, so when one of us is down like that, a stalwart member like yourself, you know, we all feel some kind of way about that. You know? So I'm so glad to see you and have you back. And let's just give Will some love. So then also tonight we're gonna jump right to the acts of faith, and VJ's a guest. We're gonna introduce him in a minute in case the people don't know, but I'm gonna let VJ read the acts of faith for tonight.
June 11th. To be who you are and become what you are capable of is the only goal worth living. Life is not hopping from one mountaintop to another because there is a valley between. At times the valley is a job you hate. but need to feed the family. The valley might be a failing or toxic relationship. The valley could be a child who goes astray or a friend who betrays you. The valley could be an illness or the death of a loved one. The valley is dark, bleak, ugly, and frightening. But there is value in the valley. When you are in the valley, you begin to muster the strength and power burdened deep within you. In the valley, you begin to think, pray, and tap into your incredibly divine self. The valley gives you a time to rest, to heal, to rejuvenate your being. It is an opportunity to look up, to see, and remember those powerful mountain climbers who made it before you. Your grandmother, your hero, even yourself. You have been in the valley before. Remember what you did, how you got up and out. Let the thoughts and memories of that success be the rope you use to pull yourself up. And taking time to learn the value of the valley.
Ooh, that's good. That preacher read pretty good, didn't he? Yeah. If he passed a hat around, let's break out the door. But he did good. I learned. You did a good job, boy. I'm starting to feel some. I'm starting to feel some kind of way up in here. Yes, that's Mr. V.J. Smith right there. You know, he is a superstar in some ways in our community because you know, his work and his efforts to with Mad Dads. He's the president, the sitting president of the national organization of Mad Dads. They've seen fit in some ways to bestow on him, you know, this kind of leadership mantle, national leader. It's a national organization now, and the president is sitting right here. Give him a big hand. The president is here.
President is here. Hello, Mr. President.
I feel like I'm in good company.
Hello,
That's all you trying to do. So, V, you wanna anything you wanna share? Just
Yeah, one of the things when I became a national president, there was, I wanted to do some things with some local people. And so, since I had the power to award whoever I wanted to, one of my first awards that I gave was to Mr. Shane Price. He deserved it. Give him a big round.
I think Will had something to do with that, man. You was kind of setting it up. This was when we was meeting down the street some years ago.
Right.
And here I came in.
And he murdered.
Yeah.
Pulled the wool over my eyes.
Right.
And then had a nice award. The DJ was there. We go way back and we're good friends and we have love. You know, I mean, I never spoken one bad word to or about the president right here. And so my wife feels the same way. We love you. We love your efforts.
So what I wanted to add to that is that this work we do is very hard. It's very taxing, and especially if you're a person of color, to be in leadership is complicated. We were talking earlier about that. We were just chopping it up and talking about how complicated it is. And so to be successful it takes a combination of things. And one of those combinations is faith. You can't be successful as a person of color if you don't have faith. It's just impossible. And so, and you have to have tenacity, and you have to have courage. And those are some of the things that I've seen Mr. Shane Price have, is all those qualities. And I know you all agree with me. So I'm thankful to see that. And that's my auntie right there. So,
Auntie, you're part of the group now.
Auntie told me, she said, you gotta come to the group. I said, I've been there before, but it's been a while. So give it up for my auntie, y'all. Give it up for my auntie.
That's beautiful.
Thank you, Brother Shane.
It's great to have you here, and you welcome any two tonight, you know, not just don't let Auntie be the only one. But I want to just, well, we're still kind of waiting for, folks to get here. There is an ordinance that Mr. Jeremiah Ellison, who was the city council person from this particular ward we're sitting in, Ward 5, that he has put forward, and I just want to read it to you. I think it's important for you to know what's taking place. And well, I'll just go. Landlords in Minneapolis are blasting a proposal that would restrict their ability to reject rental applicants based on credit, eviction, and criminal history. But a city council member backing a draft ordinance, it's not an ordinance yet, but it's a draft, calling those limits, says people need to be given a chance to prove themselves. Landlords joined by some tenants kicked off an effort to defeat the proposal Friday at a rally. So they're fighting back here. This includes eliminating the ability to check for many violent crimes, for chronic non-payment of rent, lease violations, for credit scores indicating serious financial risk and other backgrounds that show whether a person would be a good neighbor, said Mike Garvin, chair of the Minnesota Multi-Housing Association, a trade group for some 2,000 landlords in the state. 2,000 landlords, that means they're organized. Landlords also object to proposed limits on security and pet damage deposits. Security deposits would not exceed half month's rent, and if a tenant pays the last month rent in advance, otherwise security deposits would be limited to 1 month's rent. Pet damages deposits would be capped at 25%. Minneapolis City Council member Jeremiah Ellison, that's the representative from this ward, would give a fair shake to people who have blemishes on their records but are ready to move forward with their lives. Well, certainly that's a language that we are interested in here. Because everybody in here needs a second chance. I don't hear nobody.
Absolutely.
So watch this. Folks are haunted by their credit scores, by their eviction history, a very outdated criminal history. He said, I don't think that's fair, and I don't think a lot of the constituents or folks around Minneapolis think that's fair. Ellison expects that there'll be public hearings on the issue by the end of the summer. Meanwhile, he says he is open to feedback. There will be, so you get the gist of that ordinance. Now, I have been called by MTN to give some comment about this. And I wanted you to be aware of what's taking place. This is important. So let me share with you just for 2 minutes. You take 2 minutes to explain some stuff that you might not realize. Because I get a chance to move around the country, I have noticed, nobody talks about this, but I've noticed in other major cities, major metropolitan areas, where professional sports teams have moved back into that city's downtown area. It's not germane to the U.S. Bank Stadium down here. It's a phenomenon around the country that those stadiums that were in existence, all of them up until just a little while ago, maybe 10 years, were all out in the suburbs. I'm just going to wait for you to catch this.
By the airport.
Out by the airport. Watch this. And so what happened is that then the land became much cheaper in the inner city, and underdeveloped areas, right in the metropolitan area, that then are close to rail, freeway, transit, transportation of all kinds. Hey, man, all of them. Give Ivy a hand. Good. But you see, so watch this. What happened? In every major city where a stadium is built, it's either soccer, football, or baseball, or basketball. Right around that area is blighted. Remember how downtown was? Down there was some vacant buildings down by the Star Tribune, and they've been sitting down there for 20 years, maybe longer. But as soon as that building goes in, or even before it's up, then the neighborhood right around that area then goes into overt development. You see what I'm saying? I said overt, say overt. This is big time, muscle-bound development. You can go right now into areas of downtown Minneapolis and you will not know where you are. If you mess around and have some landmarks from back in the day, them things is gone, whatever that was. Well, that phenomenon has happened all over the country. Nobody talks about professional sports being a part of gentrification.
That's not.
You're just gonna wait for all the amens to die.
Come on, amen.
Nobody talks about that.
Yep.
But the truth of the matter is, the driving force behind gentrification are major league sports. Once they get in, then they want to, they're accommodating their customer and their client and all of this and all of that. And so you'll find that downtown Minneapolis is moving down Washington Avenue. Is anybody listening to this?
Yep.
And so then any area that's walking, bike riding distance from there to the stadium, that area becomes prime real estate. The North Minneapolis area we're sitting in right now is prime development real estate. And because it has turned into prime development real estate, then a lot of properties have been bought up in bulk by outside investors.
Come on now.
Now watch this. The outside investors have, and they're not being mean. They're just doing business. But they're void of the feelings that doing business at that level presents to an ongoing community.
Come on,
Well, you're going to leave here educated about something.
Come on, man.
So watch this. So big business has the ability to often influence what government does and how government operates. So what we do, and sometimes we'll petition the government for redress or help when we maybe should be talking to big business about what's their role.
Can I add something to that?
Go ahead.
So, if you own some land, you can be a part of that. Only if you own some land. So if you don't own nothing, they're not going to talk to you about what's happening. So, Broadway has had empty buildings forever, right? Right down next to the school where they built this, all those are vacant. And across the street, people are just holding on to stuff. But now it's getting ready to change. So they're gonna build 400 units of housing, 300 units of housing, and they don't have to talk to anybody but owners right now. So if you don't own anything, or Shiloh Temple owns something. So
That's
they
right.
have to talk to Shiloh.
Yes.
And so the question is, what does Shiloh want? Or what does anybody that owns anything want? And it's not what the renters want. Nobody care about that. It's what the owners want, right? So what if you own something? That's the reason why you have to own something.
So
then people have to talk to you.
Let me grab you back. Now watch this though. Here's where I think we're missing a piece. And that piece is we don't take an opportunity to entertain a discussion with big business. We just let them do what they do. But I believe if we take another organizing strategy, not just because government's going to come back at the end of the day and sanction whatever ends up happening. But in the meantime, what I'm trying to talk about here is cutting a different kind of deal. You feel it? And so this is why this gentleman is introduced this legislation, because then all of them rules about why I want you out of here to make it, because I own, to make BJ's point clearer, it's all right if you get your butt out of here, because something else is getting ready to take place. But it's like this all over the country. And so this is one of the reasons why, this is why I'm saying to you, and you know, what I just want to see my guys, pop guys, say pop guys.
Pop guys.
It's louder than that.
Pop guys.
You proud about something. Now watch this. I want us to get into home ownership. When we get to the point where you got your job and you're knocking out, you got 2-3 years under you now, it's time. Whether you got the money or not, you can't wait for all the lights to be green before you go. I'm just gonna wait for all the amens to die down.
Amen.
I said this, you can't wait for all the lights to be green before you go. It'll already have passed you by. So the guys who are in here, there's a couple, 3 guys in here right now who I know are able to move toward home ownership. You know, it's almost now a self-defense mechanism. That's right. You follow what I'm saying? Now, in that whole process, if you're not working or if you're underemployed, then that becomes an issue. And so we got a guest tonight. I'm going to bring him into this because I just wanted to set a foundation in some ways. We got a guest tonight. I'm going to let him introduce himself. And Wayne and Tia were so kind to bring him in. Did you want to introduce him at all?
Oh, no.
Go.
Was,
Okay.
You know.
So let him do you. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Wow, you're gonna have me follow the acts of faith. But I'll do the best I can. First of all, huge thank you to Brother Wayne and Brother Pierre for their hospitality and for the invitation. I met both of them at the Hennepin County Job Fair, Nicollet Library downtown, and introduced themselves, told me a little bit more about the organization, which, to be honest, I had not heard of at the time. So I started asking around in the community, did a little bit of research online, was very impressed with what I was finding out. And then when I was at the Avivo Business Partner Council meeting last week, they were there, did a presentation, did an outstanding job, and I was real excited to.
Let's give our guys a big hand for that. That was John Bain, Tier, and Ananias. Go ahead.
So, about myself, I guarantee you will remember my name. My first name is Mike, my last name is Pretzel, just like the food.
Cool name, bro.
People see that, thank you. People see that on paper, they don't believe it's pretzel, so I get Mr. Prezel. A drunk friend of mine in college called me Mike Pickle, but Mike Pretzel. And I am the Human Resources Manager for LSC Communications. And I've been there for a little over a year now, and I've worked in Human Resources for 18 years now. And coming here tonight kind of took me back because my first job in Human Resources was for Cub Foods.
Wow.
And when we opened up this location here in Broadway, I got to help staff that store. So it was great to come back to this area, and I'm happy to see that that store is still doing well. Okay, so see a few familiar faces in here. And LSC Communications, a lot of people have not heard of us because we were spun off as a separate company. And how much time do I have? Okay, because I like to talk. So my wife has to cut me out.
I got you.
So we used to be part of R.R. Donnelly and Sons, which is the world's largest printing company. Excuse me. They've been around since the late 1800s, and they're based in Chicago. And they spun us off as a separate company in October of 2016. So LSC Communications, and we still remain one of the world's largest traditional and digital printing companies in the world. We have 22,000 employees spread out across 3 countries, US, Mexico, and Canada. And we are also headquartered in Chicago. And we have one location in the state of Minnesota. We are located in Maple Grove. We have about 430 employees, so we are out in the suburbs. And it may sound like that we're far away, but when I mapped it here tonight, it's about a 15-minute drive, so it wasn't bad at all.
There you go.
And just so that I can be transparent and honest and upfront, we actually are in the process of being acquired by another company.
Okay.
So I've spent the past year telling the community about LSC Communications and telling candidates about us and who we are. But we will be acquired soon by a company called Quad Graphics. They're based in Sussex, Wisconsin, over by Green Bay for all the Packer fans. And we're actually excited about that because Quad has a great reputation for investing in their plants and people. So that plant will still be around in Maple Grove. I'll still be around, but it will be Quad Graphics. And so why am I here today? Well, like most companies, or probably all companies in the Twin Cities, we need workers. We are having a severe worker shortage. And when I accepted this position, like I said about a year ago, what I told the managers there at the plant is the days are over where you can post a job on your website or on careerbuildermonster.com and get 50, 60 candidates. Those days are over. It's a tight labor market. And the only way that we're going to find candidates for our open positions is to get out in the community, like we are today, to get out there, talk about LSC Communications, who we are, what we do. And so we need employees. I'm probably down about 50 to 60 people right now.
Wow.
And thankfully, this is a quiet time for us in the first part of the year going into spring, but once third and fourth quarter start up, we're gonna need more people. And
what do you all do?
sure. We are a printing company, and we print primarily catalogs at that plant. We have a lot of familiar clients. We print all the catalogs for Dell Computer, for Sam's Club, Bed Bath & Beyond, Room and Board, Crate and Barrel, so a lot of very familiar household names.
Sure.
And then we also offer digital solutions for our clients. And then we also print, I tell candidates at job fairs, whenever you buy a catalog or magazine and those annoying little cardboard cards fall out, guess what? We're guilty of that. So we have opportunities for both experienced printing workers and for entry level if you haven't worked in printing. So if you've worked in printing before, great. We want to talk to you. If you haven't worked in printing, not a problem because we fully train. And we tell people that when you come to work for LSC and in the printing industry, you're not just starting a new job, you're starting a new career. With printing, it's one of those industries that once you start working in it, you tend to stay in it just because you learn a lot of unique skill sets. You learn how to work on a lot of unique machines, and then you get promoted from within. So I've worked in HR 18 years now, and this is the first company I've worked for that really does promote from within. And we need people. So why LSC Communications? You see now hiring signs everywhere. I can make a strong business case for why I feel that you should consider LSC.
Go ahead and do it.
And why you should send clients our way. First of all, once again, career opportunities. It's not just a job. You get your foot in the door, and we will train the heck out of you. We will show you the business, show you the industry. We will work with you, and we will promote you and help you to move up within the company. Now, I have people there. Now, granted, you'll have to put in your time, but I have people with just with no college degree or not even a high school diploma making $35, $37 an hour.
Wow,
nice.
That's
That's
great
great.
print person.
No, that's competitive.
Yeah. And then competitive compensation. So it's starting pay, and then regular wage increases every 6 months till you reach the top of the scale. Then there's yearly raises, and then as you move up within the company, the raises come with that. And we do pay overtime. Generally, most companies will pay overtime after 40 points or hours per week. We pay overtime after 37.5 or 38.5, depending upon what shift every week. Full benefits package, outstanding longevity. You walk into our plant, you see people that have worked there in printing for 20, 30, 40 years. And once again, it goes back to what I was saying, that printing, if you get your foot in the door, it's an industry that will take care of you. You can stay there long term. And we have a great management team there. Some of my longest serving employees there are managers that started out as like part-time press people, part-time bindery operators. And we need to get the next generation of printing workers into the industry, because just like welders and truck drivers and air traffic controllers, with printing, we're going to see quite a few people leaving the industry to retire in the next 3 to 7 years. And so we need to get more workers in there. It's a safe working environment. When I was talking to some representatives at the Minneapolis Urban League, and I want to add another job there, and they were saying, well, Mike, this sounds too good to be true. I mean, what are we missing? I said, well, I would not work for a company that doesn't operate in an ethical manner and also does not put safety first. Safety first. Anyone that works there is empowered at any time to just stop and say, hey, you know, this isn't right, someone's going to get hurt. So we do put safety first at all times. And then we also just have multiple employee programs. Yeah, we're large. You know, we have 22,000 employees. Yeah, we have about 430 employees at that plant. But we know how competitive it is out there to retain workers, and so we do.
So you're printing international. If you're employing that many people, then your product line is an international line.
North America, so U.S., Canada, and Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah, those two. The question that I frequently get, and when I was first considering an opportunity with LSC, is printing dead? Well, no doubt that with so many things going digital and going online, it did affect us. Like a lot of industries, there was some consolidation. We had some pretty lean years, but printing is not going anywhere. We've noticed that there's renewed interest in catalogs and magazines, and with books. Our business is very good, and printing will always exist in some form. But our, I guess, company model, you can say, is we're grounded in print, so we'll always print the books, catalogs, and magazines, but we're also focused on the future by offering the digital solutions online.
Let's hold it right there for a minute, if you don't
Sure.
mind. And let's just field any questions you might have. We'll just take about 4 or 5 questions. Anybody got a question? Go ahead.
Yeah, I work at R. Donnelly in Chanhassen. And
You're hired.
I'm not a printer though. I work in the recycling, the baler.
Okay.
So, you guys got one of those? All the
Why not print?
yeah, it is. It's I 12-hour shifts, so I get to watch them work, and it's not that difficult because it's a team effort, and the printer machines are, 50 yards or bigger.
They're huge.
Right, and so it's a team effort, so no one is like alone, not knowing what to do. And then, like you said, they got a 30-year vet, 20-year vet.
So he offered you a job. So wait a minute.
I'm not
How much do you make?
about 18 an hour.
What you got? Can you beat it?
That,
19.
if someone has printing experience, we do pay.
Yeah.
We do pay well for experience, and I know your HR manager, by the way, Clavina,
Yep.
who I worked with. He's a colleague of mine. I worked with him at Club Foods. Great guy. And he's sent some candidates our way, but I don't know where you live. I know Chanhassen's kind of far from Maple Grove, but I'm leaving my contact information. Please reach out to me.
And then, there's other people that I do know who want to come to work where I live, but they say, oh, it's too far. They live in St. Paul. So that might be helpful for them, Because Clavina, I think he comes from Maple Grove or whatever.
So let me hold you for a minute. Anybody else got a question? Go ahead.
What is the policy for criminal history?
Sure. Great question. What we always tell people is just be honest and upfront. So on your application, you have the opportunity to list any previous convictions, or you can just put, they'll explain in an interview. Just be honest and upfront, and we can generally work with a candidate that has a past criminal conviction. I will be transparent on this. We've only rescinded an employment offer twice for criminal background activity. That was because both of those candidates did not reveal any information on their application, but we can work with candidates if there is a previous conviction.
I appreciate that, and I appreciate Doug for asking.
What is your
the question.
percentage of disabled people's disability in your company?
That I don't know offhand. We are an affirmative action, equal opportunity employer, so we are obligated legally under federal law, and also we're a state of Minnesota contractor, that we do have to ensure that we have employment opportunities for persons of color, veterans, and also persons with disabilities. So, but I don't know the percentage offhand. I'm sorry.
What exactly are the positions that you do have the most openings in?
Great question.
Throughout my list. Oops, hope I hold up the right flyer. And I'll leave this information at the front desk.
Okay.
My greatest need right now is in my bindery department. It's an entry-level position, material handler 1. That one I probably have about 32 openings right now.
Wow.
And it starts at what was it start?
The starting pay on that, right now, it's $13.50 an hour. However, with this quad acquisition, I already put in a business case for us to start higher because it's just so competitive out there. It's currently $13.50, but don't be surprised if that goes up real soon.
Sure. That was a great question. Somebody else with a question.
Another question. Are they hiring all shifts or second, third, or what, is it just one shift company or how does it?
Sure. We operate around the clock.
Okay.
So we're 24/7. Most of our openings right now are on the overnight shift, which would be shifts 5 and 6. Excuse me, which would be shifts 6 and 8, which would be on the overnight shift. But I always tell people, apply. Apply for consideration, and then if we bring you in for an interview, let us know what your scheduling needs are. And we are open to part-time as well.
Great question. You got one, we'll take one more. Anybody else? Anybody else? Listen, I thought that was great. Give me a little something. We actually are really small here tonight for whatever reason. Normally this is a standing room only meeting, but I think it's helpful for those people who are here to kind of hear that our POP staff are out in the community building relationships and bringing people forward to help get us to where our next level is. And like Doug indicated, all of us here, we got something in our background, and what he's talking about, I love that. Just be honest, and then let the people, deal with it. You know what I mean? And you don't have to be holding that, trying to, just put it out there. And if you like me, come on, you're gonna love me when you get to know me. Y'all don't hear that.
I hear you.
But then we're gonna let him get home to his wife. But if you don't mind leaving us some information, some contact stuff, and then I'm just gonna shoot a couple of my cards down to you, just so that we're able to contact one another. And I'm very grateful for you coming out tonight and taking up some of your evening to talk to us pop guys here at POP. Give them some love.
Thank you again for having me, and
Dr. Pretzel. Yes,
Dr. Pretzel,
yes.
It shows how times have changed because, growing up, being a tall, skinny white boy with acne, buck teeth, and the last name Pretzel, I was tormented.
That was rough.
But, times are changing, people are becoming more accepting and open-minded. And my kids, so I have 2 kids and then I got 2 stepdaughters.
Right.
Their friends tell them all the time, wicked last name, we love it.
That's great.
Like, that's good.
Right.
So I'll just leave this information at the front desk if that works.
If you don't mind. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes.
And so, wow, that was an amazing presentation, and Dr. Pretzel was a good presenter. We got a couple other things tonight, and then we just kind of open up a little bit more. We got some, Tierra wants to give us kind of a quick update on what he's doing in terms of employment and in navigation. So go ahead, sir.
Today, I met with the manager of Personnel Plus staffing agency. Brother named Axel. Real
This
cool.
is a temporary?
Temp service, yeah. And they're like kind of programs. They're programmed and to work with felons. They get us. They speak our language. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been sitting in there.
Right.
And
That's right.
they
Did
had.
you all hear that? Yeah. Because look what we're doing. So we're not wasting no time. If you don't hire fellas, we love you, but you can't come.
Yeah.
We only want to talk to people who are hiring fellas. That's just how it is.
And
Y'all ain't saying that. Y'all tired. That's right. You belong to something right here.
Amen. Thank you.
Here's somebody we bringing up here, bringing resources to you, and while you sitting there with the job you got, we up here you can see if you want to make a jump to a job that's better. There it was right there.
yes, sir.
That's right. Okay, go ahead.
We we got forklift positions, $16 an hour. Warehouse friendly positions, Douglas Corp. These are, and I've been making sure that a lot of the jobs that we present are all bus line friendly, felony friendly, and those are like the two main things. So we got printing jobs, printing company called Prism. Lakeville machine operator job, manufacturing, forklift jobs. This brother is actually gonna come to group next Tuesday. And then speaking of next Tuesday, I got a sister named Yolanda Perkins Bulk. She's a community mental health postdoctoral professional. She's gonna come in and join the group. And
That's next Tuesday.
That's next Tuesday. And I got another sister, her name is April Heckard. She's from an organization called RISE, not Twin Cities RISE. It's another organization called RISE. And she's gonna speak to, there's this thing called vocational rehab. And it's a program where they offer these wraparound services that, can help with, the main thing they can help with is housing and employment navigation if need be. She'll be here next Tuesday as well. So next Tuesday is going to be pretty packed.
So you want to be here if you want to hear any of this, and let me just chime in about the mental health provider, because really, we know, when we're being honest with ourselves, that there's every now and then there's some of us that we got a little screw that needs to be tightened down. And then, so that self-medication that you've been doing, that's not working. And you may have to, up here, ask for some professional help. I see you may have to be able, so what we're doing instead of, since you won't get up and go, we got the people to come here.
Little man.
I don't hear them. And then so, look, everybody got a screw loose sometime.
That's right, that's right.
I got a couple.
Right?
What I was gonna say is at first I was pretty quiet about going to therapy and stuff, and almost ashamed of it. But now most of the guys know I go every Saturday morning.
What do you do, man?
I go to North Point right over here. One of the therapists there that I've got a good rapport with now, and I'm not ashamed to say that it's helping me.
Come on.
I highly recommend, if anybody, you're just down or you just need somebody to talk to, just call and make an appointment, and they'll help you out. I can even, refer you to somebody too.
See why we call them Dougie Fresh now.
One more thing. Richard McLemore, Richard McLemore is, he said, bro, can you announce the coming up talking circle for the Play Project? And it's going to happen. It's on June 22nd.
Okay.
At 1 p.m.
So
and he said he'll bring the sign-up sheet.
Remember, she came from.
It's called Wanderlust.
Yeah, she came from her organization to try to get us involved in that. Kind of taking some of our stories and turning them into plays. And that's also kind of a therapeutic tool too. You know what I mean? So if anybody wants to be involved in that, we're gonna actually announce that again, because I think it's important for us to be involved. Tia, are you gonna do it?
Yeah.
I know Richard's already involved. Son, you got anything else?
No.
Give him a little hand, that was good.
Good stuff, my man.
Information there, that's good information. I'm almost through with it, and there's one more thing, because we've been working with Miss Cheryl down here. Miss Cheryl's son is civilly committed to Moose Lake,
Oh, no. Sorry, dude.
and, right, and so we have been, I've looked over the papers that you gave me, and I appreciate you sharing this information. It sounds like, from what you told me verbally and what this document says, is that there was just a total lack of communication between the attorney at record, Mr. Michael Hager, the attorney at record, and really keeping you abreast on what was actually taking place. Because this civil commit hearing is a serious hearing, a serious thing. It looked like, to me, that was in '08, and then did your son Thomas, he appealed or no?
Yes, he did.
And then this is the appeal documents?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. I just want to be clear about something. To those, some in here are going to understand this, in the document, one of the documents, the legal standard, say legal standard.
Legal standard.
For a provisional discharge.
For a provisional discharge.
Yeah. The legal standard.
The legal
Say
standard.
it again.
The legal standard.
What kind of standard?
The legal standard.
Watch this. The petitioner, that would be her son or us, must present a prima facie case with competent evidence, this is their document, to demonstrate that he's entitled to a provisional discharge. That's Minnesota Statute 253D28. What's important about this is that we recognize how critical competent evidence really is. And even if the people aren't paying no attention to it, they are violating the law while doing it. I'm just trying to help somebody. Now, so to your case specifically, it really vexes me because I feel like I can feel your pain. And even if I want to do nothing, what you got me feeling won't allow that.
Thank you.
Praise God for that. I praise God for that. Just to hear you say that.
And just, some things you can put them on the back burner, and then other things you just somehow. So then what I'm doing is strategizing as to how we can get answers to your son's situation and other situations at the same time. Just what I'm saying, because of the love you have and the pain that love has created in you is too rich for me to overlook. And we up here, we're gonna bring them in here, and we're gonna get some answers. Now we're gonna use your case, and then there's two other cases that I know of that I also want to interject into the discussion. But what we're trying to do, what we have to do is create an atmosphere under with which they're willing to meet us on our own terms at. And what we are really doing is saying, the other commissioners are already here doing their job, but you don't come. We don't know what y'all are doing. That's what I'm saying. But I said it in code.
Yeah.
But then he understood what I was saying and passed it on to her, saying, go see what these people go see what these people are talking about. So now what we got to do is be ready. Hey, Pat, we got to be ready when they show up. And what I mean by that, first of all, Nancy, this lady right here is not our enemy per se. And so we want to make her feel as welcome as we make any guest feel. But what her business is serious. And so she then won't be afraid to get into serious discussion about her business. And what we want to do then is not just for Cheryl, but let's demystify this whole process, because none of us know what's going on. You know, all of a sudden you was there and now you're going and nobody's seen you no more.
There's a point of no return, brother.
So this is what we're on here. And that meeting is going to, now I'll get back to her and we'll do some scheduling stuff, but we're going to do it in such a way where we can make sure that, you know, our full house here and we're able to receive her correctly. All right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We're going to let you, I want you to talk to her yourself, asking her what you've been asking me, dear God. Mike, I'm just saying now, you had a little something going on in this, with your deal. You know, we're not too happy about that either. You get it? And what's the latest on your anything? Just real short. What's?
No, the lady Megan called me today and talking about well, you need to talk to Melissa. I said, hey, I called my PO. I left multiple messages and she haven't got back with me, but I meet on the 20th. She said, well, you got the Friday. I said, hey, whatever, I'm not signing nothing. I'm gonna talk to my PO for anything.
The treatment lady said you got till Friday.
Next Friday.
Or what?
Exactly.
Now, you see what I mean? How you gonna talk to people like that? Like you the police?
Right, exactly. And then she said if I would talk to her then, they just gonna discharge it. And if me and the PO talk, and then we'll just revisit again. It's all about the money. So now they just want $200 more from health partner to start all over again.
Yep.
I'm not telling, I'm not signing nothing. You're not gonna.
Now go ahead.
Yeah, because the lady at Pathfinder, she said that, I said, based on your criminal history, she said, I think you need very intense treatment. I said, well, hold on. I said, you talking about the early 80s? I said, 81, 82? Right. I said, the last time I got out of prison was in 91, and I ain't been back into this offense. I said, I was in prison for 8 years. Never had a fight or went to the hole. So what are you talking about a background when I was a child? A young teenager? She said, because of the power and control and my criminal history. You know, she didn't even mention the case. She talking about just because the background.
So, that's good. Well, you know, I just want you to know that we're not asleep about your business. You ain't by yourself. It's hard to fight this stuff when you're by yourself. You got to be a part of something.
Yeah.
And you're a part of something. And we've been messing with you for a long time, and we're not going to let people just run you over. That's not going to happen. You get it? So now, if they want to, come on in and sit down, Chris. If they want to, if they want your $200 and leave you alone, give it to them and keep on moving. But this is going to trigger a response. So what I need for you to do now is you have to make sure that you're managing her next conversation with you is going to be serious. Because she's going to take this seriously. And she's going to talk to you serious about this. And then what you need to be able to just lay out, this is what I would be willing to do. So you're giving her options. Let me give you a couple ideas. One is, you could say, you know, I would be willing to take an anger management class on Saturdays. Or I would be willing to take individual therapy, like Doug is talking about, on my own. That we could, that we can manage between you and I. Why am I saying that? Because the reason why she referred you there is because she's trying to cover her own behind. She believes you. But if you mess up, then she feel like the liability is on me. The liability in this case would not be on her. The liability would be on the Department of Corrections for not mandating any treatment if that were the case. Now, I'm just saying that to you so you already know. But her fear is that she's just out there, she's trying to cover her own behind. And so then you give her something else besides pathways, so she feels like she's covered and you feel like you can manage it. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm gonna take a little rest now. You know, I'm feeling in my mouth. So, anybody else want to chime in on anything we got on the floor? Go ahead. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3.
First of all, this hill thing in the balance fits me all the way. I've been in the balance since I've been home, struggling, trying to get a place to live. And even with Mr. Shane Price, we went in there, and they still denied me. So, you know, and I've still been going though. I've been staying, like Shane say, as long as you come to group, you stay out. And I've been coming to group for over, what, 3 years, 2 years now? And I've been doing good, man. I haven't been back. I haven't had no violation or nothing.
Ain't you off now?
Next month. But these people are so, like where I'm at right now, I signed out today.
So you don't live there anymore?
No, because they was talking about owing $5,000. I owe y'all $5,000 when I had to spend down on my medical for my neck that I had a surgery. So I told them, I said, listen, I'm finna sign out of here because I'm not quote order or nothing for to be here. You know, and the lady was like, well, I'm finna call down to Social Security and tell them, you owe us some money. How can you call and tell them people? They already tell me all the time, you only got enough to live on what we give you. Now they want to go back and talk about $5,000 back pay. I don't know how that works. So I got some people behind me. Like Doug was saying, the mental health program. I go through a mental health program down there in the Bruce Street building. They've been bagging me up since I've been home. I've been doing what I need to do. Everybody love me. That's why I'm learning to change. I'm not that Ice Mike guy no more. I'm Calvin.
So, but you know what, Calvin? I got your call earlier, and then what they did, they ran you out of there.
Could be.
You know, could be, because you're a vulnerable adult.
Right. That's what I keep telling. I said, listen, how
Listen,
you charge me?
when you're there, you're a vulnerable adult. They could get their money, they'd have put you out a long time ago.
Right.
So what happened there is they buffaloed you, scared you, saying, you know, hey, you owe us some money. So how could a vulnerable adult under your care run up a tab of $5,000 and all of a sudden today, you get it, you want your money? That was just buffaloing you. Now what I intended to do, if you would give me a little minute, was to go back and call them and say, now, you know, I'm sorry, man, but you know, no vulnerable adult in that building owes you a dime for anything. And if anything, it's the other way around. So, but you didn't give me enough time to respond.
I just had to leave.
I
don't want to be in trouble. You know, sometimes when you get to talking to people, they come at you like, oh, well, you threatened me, or you feel like you got, you know. So my thing was to say, well, okay, I appreciate y'all, whatever y'all done for me, but I need that paperwork so I can sign. So my thing right now is that, you know, I got some stuff going on. I went down home, you know, and my sister's sick. I've got to do the will of my father. I got to go down there and take care of her. I just lost a brother in November. So it's some stuff going on inside of me that I got to release to him and do his will. It's not Calvin. So y'all just keep me in prayer, brothers.
Give him some love.
And
but Calvin, you know, don't do anything until you are done with parole. Parole expires for you next. Stay here until you're done.
Yeah, I'm the 19th.
I'm just gonna say that. Because now you got your car back.
No, I ain't going nowhere.
The new women ain't doing that. People gonna put you out of what you do. You know, be running down the highway, get on 35W trying to go somewhere. Hold up. Doug, what you got, sir?
Let me introduce my guest when we get a chance.
I'll come right back to it. Doug, what you
Sir,
got?
I read in the paper last week that the DOC has a big shakeup with all the different wardens, you know, getting shipped around. I just wanted to know what you thought of that.
Yeah, it was a big shakeup. So it's kind of vexed what we're doing, because you know we're getting ready to go into Stillwater.
Yes.
And but we partially why we want to go is because Eddie Miles is the warden. But you know we do all right together. And Eddie got moved, so he's going to St. Cloud of all places. When you get a guy who knows how to play hardball and still come out like a human, why you want to move him down to the orientation station? You know, so really they're putting him out to pasture, to be quite honest with you, because his level of expertise would be more at Stillwater or Park type, you know, whatever. So it does impact us, and they don't leave till July, so we're trying to get in the door at Stillwater before Eddie gets out of there. But it is a big shakeup. The warden we have at Lino, who is excellent, Victoria Jensen, she's excellent, and she's a pop supporter. She's moving to Rush.
Rush there.
So that's good for us. We're at Rush too. But the warden who was at Rush, Jeff Titus, pop supporter, they moved him to Oak Park. So we lost a good ally in Jeff, but Victoria is a good ally as well. We have a new warden at Lino Lakes and a new warden.
What I got out of that is that, you know, how the tension in all the prisons is pretty high.
It is.
And do you think that just where it's really stressful in some, you know, and not so in some of the other ones, to bring just like a new breath of fresh air, or if you would, to somewhere to try to tone down the tension that is in some of the more, you know, Stillwater, or Rush City, or you know.
I mean, that's a great question, and I'm just going to be honest with you. I think it was a mistake to move Mr. Miles, but he was on when the CO was killed.
Yes.
It was his house, and I think there's some thinking that says we just gonna take everything that was associated with that incident and move it. Now, whether or not that plays out good for both guards and offenders, I can't say. Coming into Stillwater fresh from any other prison is just a different animal. So you know, and I don't mean that in an unkind way. It's just different, and you have to be paying attention. And, you know, so anyway, those are great questions, though, and I'm glad you're conscious of that. You get it? That does my heart good to hear that you're paying attention to what they're doing. You get it? It's a big shakeup in some ways, and we're gonna hopefully try to make it work out for our good. The warden at Kathy Halverson was at Faribault. They moved her to Shakopee. I'm so glad. She was a piece of work. And then they're moving the Faribault warden to the Shakopee warden to Faribault, so we have a chance to build a relationship with her. Those are great questions.
Shane, real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Mr. Pretzel left a bag over there.
Okay.
Somewhere. He's on his way back to it.
Boy, that ran out of here and left his goods. Search that bag. No, just kidding. Shake that boy down up in here. No. I flash back to 79. No. You can't do that. So, you know, here go Ananias and Patrick and Chris Burke. What you doing in here, Chris Burke? Look at it. You working, boy? Yep. Get that working man out here. Why don't y'all chime in, man? What's happening?
Yeah, I'm just, I moved out from the race, so I'm over with my niece now. We're on 49th.
You're in the neighborhood again, huh?
Yeah, 49th and then.
Okay.
I got a little nephew, he's 15 years old, and in trouble and stuff like that, and I've been trying to just hands on, you know what I mean? And I wasn't able to reach him very much. He's moved to Chicago. No, he's moved to Chicago. So it's like, it's just kind of like, oh my God, what I go to Chicago for? Now, I guess it sort of makes sense now because this is what happened. He kept getting in trouble here with guns and stuff like that. So a lot of his partners that he was running with, they all got in trouble when the JC got incarcerated and everything a few years back. They're getting ready to get released now after those little business they've had and everything. So my niece just wanted her son out of the way. So send him to Chicago with my cousin Angie. Angie is just a denarian. So I'm kind of happy about that.
Where do Angie live?
Angela lives in Chicago, and she lives in Blue Island. It's a little suburb. Blue Island.
That's a suburb.
Yeah, it's a suburb of Blue Island, like near Calumet City or something like that. Right? Yeah. So he's gonna finish school there, and she doesn't work, so she'd be able to keep her calls on a long time. That's a good thing.
Yeah, man, that's a lot. You know what he was just saying. He moved out. He was in a relationship, and you know, it just seemed like things started out great, but then something happened.
Yeah.
We'll just talk about that for 1 minute.
Well, I mean, I go to work all the time, so I'm working all day long, so everybody else is always at home, you know. So there was just some things going on, and I found out at home it just wasn't real, and it didn't make the situation just wasn't good for me being in the situation that I'm in, with parole and everything, you know. So it was just time for me to just go. It just wasn't a healthy environment, you know. So it was hard, and I had a relationship with Kevin, you know. So I still spend some time over there, but I don't live it. You know, so it's like I spend time there, you know. I go the weekends I'm there just so I could take Kevin with me to look at the papers and everything. During the week though, you know, man, I'm over on this side. You know, I'm going to work with her.
And how is she taking that? You know, be honest. I mean,
she doesn't like, well, you know, she doesn't like it. Doesn't like it at all. She wants me back, but you know, it's you know, I said, well, the worst thing that you could have done is put me in a situation that you put me in. I love myself more than I love you. And I'm not about to lose myself for a relationship with everybody. It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah. And that's so deep, man. But
it's real.
Yeah, I just want to tell you something though. I think you were wise, first of all. And second, you may have to just get out and total, because otherwise, I just have seen where people get angry and think now they think that you got somebody else, that you know this and that, and then some jealousy stuff flares up, and then next thing you know, this and that. I just don't like the way that tape plays in my mind. I don't know. I'm just talking to you. Anybody else got it, want to say something about it? It's all love. Go ahead.
Me and I was on my girl for 29 years. And back when I got out, things switched, As much as I love my son, I couldn't let that interfere with me staying or going. And it was hard choosing. But the thing is, like you were saying, if you leave a crack anywhere in that house where somebody can get in, there's no telling who might come in. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna cut ties, cut it off. Then you don't have to worry about nobody sneaking in your house.
I'm going to be honest, I think he's making a good point. I just want you to hear, you're an intelligent man and capable of making intelligent decisions. We just up here talking a little bit. Anybody else got something?
Well, I know you're a good guy. I can see it in you. Nowadays, and I don't mean no harm, these women don't care about men. If you ain't been married to nobody, or you ain't in a long-time relationship, and you come out, try to get with somebody, they don't want you. They don't want to see you do good. You're doing good. You working. You got some stuff going. You shining. We all got to shine. Everybody here got to shine because we come out being on the right track. Now, my baby mama, I wanted her back so bad. When I went to Louisiana, she walked away from me. I said, wow, I gotta go to her dad and tell him this. Because I feel like, well, I'm gonna let somebody know, because it hurt him. So I went to her dad, I said, hey man, listen, I went to your daughter 3 times, she walked away from me. He said, the world with her, take care of your baby. So that's where I'm at now, with taking care of my baby. I ain't got no relationship, that don't make me funny or nothing, I just gotta wait. You know what I'm saying? Because he say, who seeks a wife finds something. And I'm thinking, but I ain't found the right one yet. So with you, somebody gonna come in your life, bro, that's gonna appreciate you. Where you at? You going? What's his name? No, the one that was just sitting here. Tier. You see how Tier waited and something came that's righteous for him? And they on the same page?
Wow.
You got it coming.
Wow, that's good how you pulled that out. Give him some. He's working that, boy. Boy, you pulled it out, man. Matthew, I think you had your next.
Yeah, I was gonna say about your situation, you know, did you consider going to a different program, or is that just the one they referred you to? Did you give them any options?
That's what she referred me to.
Okay.
She was just saying, let's go see what they want. But she seen all my competent evidence. She seen everything else. But it's just like my first pill, and like Pop said, she just trying to cover her behind.
Right.
But she was like, if they didn't make you do it, you know what I'm saying? And then she was like, all this you did in prison. She said, I feel too much treatment is bad for anybody.
It is.
You know, that's what she said. She said, but we gonna find something.
Did you?
But I haven't talked to her, you know. She could, it's like, I'm not a priority to her or something like that. I barely see the woman. I only see her when we got a meeting. But my other PO, I call him. I call her every day. Just get the voicemail. This Mike, I'm just checking in. You know.
Did you have more? Or you all right. Somebody else?
You know, Pop, I had wanted to say something to Edna now. Man, I wish I had that much sense, even when I was grown. I ain't had that much sense. So, you know what I'm saying? Follow your head, man, not your heart.
Before I came home, you know, I wrote down to myself, I said, there is not a person, a religion, a situation, a circumstance, money, there is nothing that is going to cause me to go back to the penitentiary.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
I said, I wrote that down before I even came home, like years before I even came home.
Yes, sir.
And I follow it to this day. I mean, I'm calm and I'm cool about it, and I think that's probably what kind of upsets, you know, people a lot of times, you know. But you gotta understand something. I don't need to be all outrageous stuff. I'm serious.
Yes, sir.
Amen.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. You know, just for those who don't know, Ananiah did over 18 years.
24.
24 years.
Wow.
So you know what this is. So this feedback that we're giving him is really because we want him to, you know, to continue on with what he's doing. Leon, what you got, son?
One thing I can say to you, Hananiah, you know what I'm saying, that I respect the way you did it, because like me, I couldn't do it, you know what I'm saying. I was weak, man, if I went to the joint and my kid's mom, she get a guy in the house, I came to the house, stabbed everybody up. That's why I went to prison and I stabbed the dude up. I beat her up to death, beat her sister up to death. And we was together for 10 years and we got 2 sons together. And I ain't never in my life, never told nobody I hate them. And I used to tell that girl I hate her. She used to come up there and visit me in Stillwater. You know what I'm saying? When I was up there in Stillwater, I tried to attack her up there. And they weren't on contact order no more. I tried to attack her. I got sent to the hole for 6 months. They shipped me out to Opar. I got down there styling people up. Did a whole year and said, well, the reason I respect you, you know what I'm saying, so much your situation, because you got up out of there. I couldn't get up out of there. I was so weak, man. I used to drink a lot. I was an alcoholic. I smoked weed every hour on the hour or every day. I was just going. I wasn't working. I wasn't hustling none. I was just in a frame of mind that I just didn't want to do nothing. Well, my baby mom, she's bringing all the money home. I'm just taking care of my kids. My 2 sons I got by her. And the hardest thing for me to have done since I've been out is to be in front of her in person Like now I'm out, I'm not behind bars no more. And when she came to me, brought my sons, when she came to me and brought my sons with me, you know what I'm saying, to visit me, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, I had flashbacks of the dude that was in the bed and her, all this see-through stuff on, the tape played back in my head of what happened, and I just seen myself in an attacker because I was still you know, this 15 years, 15 years they gave me, it wasn't about the time, it was just the fact that I had a whole scenario played out. And so for me to be in person with her, for the first time out of me doing 8 years straight, I had to let her know, I'm like, look, Ada, I feel like I don't want you to be coming, trying to visit me in the halfway house. We can set something up, or you can have my dad bring his grandsons up here to see me because I'm still feeling some type of way. And I wasn't feeling no type of way because I still had feelings for her. I was feeling some type of way of the fact that I never would have thought in the days that you would ever do me like that. You know what I mean? I never cheated on you or anything. So I just had to let all that calm down for a while, stuff like that. Well, we good though now. And y'all know what's so crazy? I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I don't know what it is. I'm like, Dad, why do I want this girl back? That's why I'm asking myself, and I be asking God, like, why do I want myself back? And this girl was sending me to jail every week. I'm like, why do I want this girl back? Like, and I'm asking God every night, and I'm asking people that I really got a lot of respect for, that I look up to. I'm like, why do I still want this girl back?
So let's stop it right there. Give him a hand for that. That's so funny that, you know, you end up coming to a meeting and then the real meeting break out. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because that triggered something.
Yeah.
Now he needed to get that out.
Yes, and I'm glad you did.
Yeah, brother. And so there is rejection addiction is like a little syndrome. You know, sometimes when somebody rejects you, make you feel less than, and then you can't overcome whatever that less than feeling is, and you keep trying to.
Narcissist.
Yeah, you keep trying to, you know what I mean?
Narcissist.
So you gotta think to yourself. I think it's a good question you ask. Why do I want this? You know, well, why? And why does anybody want anything? But it's a good question to ask yourself. However, remember to build you first. You gotta build yourself. Get yourself strong. Before you enter into any relationship, I know that's hard, but I'm telling you the truth. You gotta build you first. Your job, your place, your car, your license, your money, your this and that. This creates equal terms in a relationship. Say equal terms.
Equal terms.
You know, I don't know what Ada doing, but I bet she got her own money, she got her own place, she got her own. And you still trying to get there. Those terms are not equal, man.
That's right.
And what you want to do is work on you long enough to where it's equal terms, and then ask yourself the question. Now, see, it could be that along the way, you know, Sheila comes up and you do something different. But you first got to give yourself a chance to be successful on your own terms. Well, that was good.
I want you to do me a favor. So, when you get an opportunity, I said the word narcissism. So a lot of people hear that word and they think that it means like self-centered or something like that. But there is actually a narcissist, a personality type. You understand what I'm saying? Study that word narcissist. Each one of us has it. And we have to be kind of aware of what that is and how it affects our lives. You understand what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Because each one of us have those narcissistic traits and they can hurt us if we don't understand what they are. So look that word up and study that word.
Right? That's good teaching right there.
So I wanted to say, when you have to ask yourself, why do I want something? First, you're saying to yourself, you're not sure why you want something, right? So then you have to answer, what do I really want first? What do you want? What do you want from your mate? What is it that you want? You might need to sit down and just write that out. What do I want? And then you can answer the why. Is this what I want? Because you already know her talents, her abilities, her skills, right? You know all about her. So then ask yourself, what do I want? Not why do I want her? Ask, what do I want? And if that's her, then that is what you want, and that's why you want it. But you need to first ask yourself, what do I want? Now first you need to heal. You can't know what you want until you heal. There's too much pain. And so you got this pain blocking you, but you also got some emotions going on, right? And she's rekindling something from you. You're remembering some of the good things that she knows how to do and what to do, right? But still, in turn of that, remember those good things, you remember the bad things. So you're having a relapse and a reoccurrence at the same time. So that's why you ask yourself why, because the relapse means I want to go back. The reoccurrence means you did some stuff. And then the pain is in there. So until you heal, both of you need to heal together. Because evidently she has some pain to put that kind of pain on you. You got to heal together and then ask yourself, what do you want? And that might answer your question.
That's good. Let me cut you right there. Go ahead, son. What you got?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Well, I talk to Dion a lot. We talk all the time on our rides, and we talk about relationships. And like my experience with Sharifa, she said she needed space, and then she came back and said, you make me feel good, you make me happy. Remember all the good times because we first met, we was in the fifth, sixth grade. I don't want to feel like that. I'm not past my ex. I have this trauma because he used to beat her and stuff. And I said, what? You don't want to be happy? And she said, no. So she's working on her pain. She's working on her past issues so she can be better in a relationship.
Right.
And so I didn't realize that because I feel I'm in a good balance point. So I didn't understand where she was coming from. And that's what, what's your name? VJ. I say DJ, VJ. That's what he was trying to communicate is, when I feel pain, I want to know where it comes from. A lot of it for me comes from my childhood and my upbringing. So I'm aware of that. So I don't bring that pain to other people. Or I recognize that when I'm in it, that I'm spreading that negative seed to friends or relationships where I can catch myself. No, this is what my parents used to say, or my dad used to do. It was abusive and it was hurtful and it hurt me really bad. So I need to stop communicating that way or behaving this way because I don't want to hurt the person I love or care about. You know?
That's
good. So I'm in a new relationship now, and it's slowly developing into trust, friendship, and love. That's the end point. And so
Give him some
back,
going
back.
Boy, I'm gonna give you a hug, boy. What you trying to do around here?
Well, a little something, something.
A little something,
So going back with your ex, who we used to, you probably still love and care about, it is unbearing or closing the wounds or stopping the bleeding. To express yourself, this is what I want. I want communication, I want love, I want respect, and I don't want to hurt you from the past. I want to be good to you every day from now on.
So hold up right there. So then what did you just hear? What did you get out of this feedback right here?
I got this feedback that I need to just, before I try to get into any relationship, and I have tried to get into 3 since I've been out for 7 months, and all 3 of them failed because I had trust issues. With just women, period, I had trust issues. So I was kind of like, I did a long distance relationship with my daughter mom, my 21-year-old daughter mom. Because she's so beautiful, I was just so insecure. Like, man, I hear some dude back in the background, who is that? Who is that dude? So I started disrespecting her, cut all ties off with her.
Well, what did you get, now you back in your feelings, but what did you get from this?
What I got the feedback is that I need to work on me though. I need to heal, I'm not healed.
Come on, somebody give us some. Yeah, that's good. Troy, what you got going on?
Looking for a place to live. I'm Troy, pop guy.
Pop guy?
Right, I'm currently at 180, working a decent job out in Rogers, Minnesota. Struggling to find a place to live. I committed a sexual offense in 1996. I was off from parole paper for that. I got a failure to register charge, so they gave me an additional 10 years conditional release. So I'm back on conditional release, level 3 sex offender. So it makes it almost impossible for me to find a place. I'm hoping right now that Cooper at 180 will give me an extension. Kind of where I'm at right now.
Good. So see, I love that because that was down and dirty, but you know, you was telling it like it is.
Yep.
And so, you got money?
Yeah.
Okay, so then, let's, we'll get Marvin. Marvin has got a couple of spots, that could be helpful. And your committee is Hennepin, right?
That's correct.
So, let me get, Marvin a call tonight, and you call back tomorrow or Thursday, and I'll let you know what I find out. Again, I'm sure we'll have some numbers for you.
Okay.
To call.
I don't have your number.
That's probably problematic, bro.
Stepping Stone, Brittany also has
I've
a place.
already put an application for Stepping Stone, got no response.
It's on 612.
My phone's slow. 612.
That's you. That phone is fast. That's you.
No, I got this monitoring software right here.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. 501. Yep. 501.
9435. This has the definition of the word narcissism. I want you to read and study that this week. Then next week, we're gonna ask you some questions about Pat. What's going on? You all right? Give us an update.
Okay, just last few days, you know, I've been experiencing some health problems due to not really taking care of, you know, the stuff that I'm supposed to take care of with my heart failure. But, you know, I'm going to make the adjustments that I need to make because last week, you know, I kind of had a scare. And,
so what happened?
well, I was at the point of not being able to breathe. And it definitely scared me, and I panicked.
I would panic too.
You know, it's kind of that situation where the cardiologist, you know, she's trying to convince me about the defibrillator. Not 100% on board with that. I don't know what it is. I mean, well, I know the fact that, you know, it's just a hard, you know, thing to try to digest. So, you know, you know, she let me know my heart pumping functionality hasn't improved from when I had my heart attack. You know, first I found that kind of, you know, disappointing because it damaged the front wall of my heart. But, you know, she said it hasn't got worse, sir. So that's the point I you know, tried to focus on.
Wow.
And I get it, you know, but I just, you know, got to keep doing, you know, trying to make better adjustments because, You know, I can't drink too much fluid. I mean, they literally described to me, you know, the man put 32 ounce, you know, like the pitcher things that they have in the hospital. He said, you can't drink more water than this because having heart failure and you retain a lot of water makes it hard for you to breathe. And yeah, and sometimes that's what I have a real big problem with.
Did you drink a lot of water?
I do. And not only that, you know what I'm saying, anything you eat that has water in it, you have to watch, you know, not only the fact of, you know, just paying attention and monitoring, because I have to keep my weight down. And I've been gaining some weight because I haven't been staying focused on not, you know, eating. Sometimes I do it as a comfort thing, but can't be a comfort if it's making me uncomfortable.
Yes.
So, you know, I'm just, I gotta, you know, just because I think that I'm okay don't mean that I'm okay.
Yes, sir. Patrick, what's thank you for sharing with me. We're almost out of here. If you just Pat, so maybe you set yourself a little small goal. You know, if in 90 days you can't bring your weight down 7 pounds, and you know, if you're not doing what they're asking you to do, when you know you need to be doing it, that's problematic.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, if it, maybe I'm arbitrarily throwing out a strategy for success. So, I mean, say, well, okay, if you can't do this, you know, if I can't commit to Patrick to bring my weight down 7 pounds, which takes pressure off you, or, you know, this and that, you know, maybe you got to look at these other options.
Right.
You know, because the one option that you didn't point out was, you know, there's still a good chance to have Patrick here if you did the defibrillator. Right. And I know you don't want to do it. I mean, I understand. We were there with Pat when he had his heart attack. You know, we was there. Patrick had maybe 15 or 20 pop guys in his hospital bedroom. They were so frightened of all of us, man. They said, look, we're going to give him some good treatment, or these boys are going to go crazy. But I tell you what, man, we love you, but we want you to make good decisions. Go ahead.
Excuse me. I have a dear friend I've known since I was a child. Her name is Monique. She's my sister, I call her. And she's had a defibrillator in her chest since 1999. She's still alive. She's still doing fine. She's actually lost weight since she had the defibrillator. You know what I mean? So, but she's doing fine. She went into a coma for a period of time right before I came home. She was in a coma before I came home, so I went to see her a couple of times. And one day I just get this phone call. And it was her. She was out of the coma. So I was so overjoyed to be able to see her and give her a hug. But getting the feeling in life is not the end of your life. You know what I mean? I think in the beginning, when you get it, your body accepted it. It was a little bit of a struggle in the beginning. You know what I mean? But after your body gets used to it and everything, you know, and you get used to the normal routine and maintenance and everything you need to do while having the fever. It really does not decrease the value of the life. Okay? It will not decrease the value of the life. It will actually, in a lot of cases, it really just kind of makes you focus on the fact that, you know, hey, I'm still here, I'm alive. And you make the best and the most of this. You understand?
And I just want you to know, John Turnipseed's got a defibrillator, and if you want to talk to him,
that's good.
I know John Turnipseed.
So John, talk to him, man. He'll tell you his experiences, and you know.
Give him a number.
I'll give you John's
We're gonna get ready to get out of here in 2 minutes. I just want 2 people who haven't said nothing to just say something. Phil, you all right?
Just got a quick announcement.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna bring these petitions next week. We need still some more signatures. We have like 150 signatures. We're meeting with Sarah Walker, anybody that wants to go with us. We're meeting her July 12th. What we want to do is, with the signatures, we want to pressure her. Vava right now is putting some feelers out in the joint because I'm pretty sure that they do not comply with what we want to ask them when we go see her July 12th. We're planning a dual action where the guys are going to do something inside the joint. We're going to do an action on the same day outside.
Wow, that's good.
At the state capitol. We have to be able to talk to them in language they understand. So Vava said he can, put some feelers out. It's either going to be a work strike or a hunger strike. One of those two. And so that'll send a message to them that we got eyes up on the outside as well as the inside. And then what happens is that once we begin to pull the layers off this thing, we'll be able to give it a little bit more transparency, which we don't have right now.
And that's around this whole technical violation stuff, and so we're doing, involved in, no incarceration for technical violations. That's where we are. So that's excellent. Give Phillips. Right. You got something, Wayne?
I got something. Two things. One, Dakota Institute is teaching some technical skills in IT. They got 2 6-week courses, and I think it's college credit. So there's some information pamphlets, anyone who wants to get some more technical training in computers. You got that. We got a couple of pamphlets up there, and I can always print more. The second thing is the circus tickets.
Yep. And if anybody wants some tickets,
when?
Give them.
It's going to be for the Father's Day weekend, both the 15th and 16th.
Where?
It's out
going to
in
be
Woodbury.
Maplewood.
I'm sorry. So get them from Wayne if you want the tickets.
So
if you take the tickets, you got to use them.
Yep. Yeah. There are some instructions on there. There's some websites and phone numbers you can call for more information. I don't know all the details. It's the first time we've ever gotten these kind of tickets.
That's enough. You can go to Wayne, get the information, or Wayne can go to the website and get the information. But if you want the tickets, I want you to use them. If not, just leave them, and we just say thank you. But we don't want to waste them. People are trying to be gracious, and then we don't take advantage of it. Isaac hasn't been here in a couple weeks. I just want Isaac to just do a quick check-in, and we're gonna be out of here.
I got 201 miles on my bike, and I'm loving it. And I've had it for a month.
All right.
So me and Vava, we plan on going on the Greenway bike trail this weekend. I really love it. For y'all that got bikes, man, ride that Greenway. It's beautiful. It's something like you never experienced before.
It's something like you don't be gone for 38 years and come back and tell us to ride the Greenway. I never been on it. I never been
Tell them, once you get on, you're going to be sprung.
Man, I hear you.
You got everything.
Let's see, Chris, real quick, what you got?
I just did 2 polygraphs today, combined it into one at treatments. And just had a meeting with my therapist and my PO. And everything is kosher and good. I passed both of them.
All right.
Look here, Chris. That's a big improvement. Somebody, there was a couple of teachers over there in those moments. Let's pledge out. Okay, I will. Balance my family values. With my goals. I will. Exercise wisdom. What I choose to eat. Read. And do. Now this is just Patrick. Patrick, listen to this. I will. Just Patrick. Exercise wisdom. Hold up, sir. And what I choose to eat.
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 You got to make some good choices, Patrick Nunn.
You gotta make some good choices, Patrick Neville.
Yes! I will.
I will.
Strive to make all my relationships.
Strive to make all my relationships.
Win-win.
Win-win.
No deal.
No deal.
I will.
I will.
Under every circumstance.
Under every circumstance.
Maintain a positive attitude.
Maintain a positive attitude.
Get that right, Dion.
Yes, sir.
All right, then. I will.
I will.
Enjoy my life.
Enjoy my life.
With a sense of humor.
With a sense of humor.
While taking advantage of opportunities.
While taking advantage of opportunities.
Learning from my misfortune.
Learning from my misfortunes.
I will.
I will.
Act upon circumstances.
Act upon circumstances.
Rather than have them act upon me.
Rather than have them act upon me.
I will.
I will.
Daily basis.
Daily basis.
Be proactive with my goals.
Be proactive with my goals.
Because I have some goals.
Because I have some goals.
I am somebody. I will.
I will.
Always protect my wisdom.
Always protect my wisdom.
My health.
My health.
My happiness.
My happiness.
Because I am.
Because I am
somebody. I will.
I will.
Stay principle centered.
Stay principle centered.
Maintain a positive circle of influence.
Maintain a positive circle of influence.
Pump the riffraff.
Pump the riffraff.
Because I am. Somebody. I will.
I will.
Daily learn.
Daily learn.
Commit.
Commit.
And do.
And do.
I will.
I will.
Act according to the POP Leadership Institute.
Act according to the POP Leadership Institute.
Be productive in my community.
And be productive in my community.
And my private life.
And my private life.
Because I am.
Because I am.
Somebody.
Somebody.
All right, now hug somebody.
All right.
Let's clean up this.